Okay. Hare Krishna, everyone. So some of the students are practicing drama, so we don't have everyone. So we'll continue last session, and also today we will discuss about the camp we'll have in May 10th. So we are discussing the topic of Hmm? Yeah, already started. Yeah, same link as past. So we are discussing the Bhakti Yoga at home, right? There is only one yoga that you can practice at home, as per Lord Krishna speaks about various yogas. The one especially for emancipation, liberation. The other one is Jnana Yoga and Dhyana Yoga. In sixth chapter, there is description of what one has to do to achieve perfection in Dhyana Yoga. Not clear? Okay. For Dhyana Yoga, one has to renounce himself from the world, go to forest, focus on, sit in a meditative posture and focus his mind on, a focused item. So it's very difficult. But Bhakti Yoga is one thing that can be practiced by anyone, anywhere, without any conditions. So that's exactly what we are also trying to practice, right? This is the only yoga. And it can give the same result. It's not like, okay, it's an easy process. It means the result will be less than what the Dhyana Yoga. We may think like that. Because if the requirement is less, the one may think. So I used to have a friend who used to tell me, hey, I used to practice Krishna consciousness when I'm working at Microsoft in India. One of my colleagues used to tell me, hey, you are not going to forest or doing meditation. How can you achieve perfection? At that time, I didn't have good understanding. I didn't have device classes like yours, so I didn't have the clarity. But now I'm very clear. This is something you can practice even at home and achieve perfection. This is the dharma of the age. So we discussed about you know theoretical knowledge and realized knowledge, vijnana, right? Even in material sciences, we learn theory in class, and then to reaffirm our understanding, we do experimentation, right? So that gives us clear understanding, or now you're completely clear about the subject that you learned. Now in Bhagavad Gita, we learn that we are not this body, we are soul. But now how do you realize that? What is the how do we realize that we are not this body? What is the method for realizing that? What is the practice for realizing that? Hmm? Yeah, chanting. So the theory is Bhagavad Gita wisdom. The practice is meditation or specifically chanting for this age. So we need to do that. Then so jnana and vijnana both are important. Without realization, without practice, there is no use of just theoretical knowledge. It is like going to a class or say hospital and visiting a doctor, getting the prescription. But what is the use of prescription if you don't take the medicine? Does it even help? Yeah. So just hearing class, many people think, I can just hear class and I'll be spiritual. But will you be spiritual? You will be theoretically spiritual. In practice, you won't have realization. You won't achieve that harmony, peace, and understanding and realization of that you're not this body, and you are actually meant for serving God. That you won't realize. Right? It's just like buying a ticket and not boarding a flight or a train, right? And many people think spirituality is a retirement program, right? If you tell your parent, I used to go to, I learned Krishna consciousness in college in IIT Chennai. And the first time I went home after learning this, I had taken my beads and sat down in my mandir, right, at home, my parents' place. My father would come every 20 minutes and check what is happening, why is he doing all this? He got worried. uh, you can do, but don't go like that. He used to tell me, don't go into Tanmay. Now they are not worried. Now they are chanting. My father is chanting. He's chanting 4 rounds. But he got a nice relation. He was like, I won't do anything you do for first 5 years. But then he had a realization. He fell down and he went through a major accident. And we all prayed to Narsingadev. And he could see immediately how Narsingadev protected him. From then, he completely changed. So he was protected by Narsingadev, Mahapur Narsingadev. Yeah. So, and then he completely changed. Now he chants every day and he does Narsimha Kavacha even now. So that was a good experience for me. So sometimes people learn by experience. They don't learn by speaking, hearing. So the argument for that is this knowledge of Bhagavad Gita was spoken to Arjuna in a very tough situation, isn't it? It was spoken in a battlefield. And we are definitely not in such a critical situation, none of us. So if it is relevant for Arjuna, it should be relevant for us too, right? Yeah. If Arjuna is able to spare 2 hours in battlefield, we should be able to spare time for learning Bhagavad Gita. Yeah. And another thing is, some people think spirituality is for saintly people, monks. It's not for people living in cities and working in software. People think like that, isn't it? It's some people think it is old wisdom. It's not relevant for today's time and days. You see, all these misconceptions come, but it is not for renunciates. If it is, then Arjuna would have spoken to a monk. Sorry, Krishna would have spoken to a monk. But he spoke to Arjuna, who had family, who had children, who had kingdom to rule, right? He's a very dutiful person. So it's meant for householders with family and social responsibilities. It's not about giving up anything. What is it about? Then what is spiritual life? If it is not about giving up, what is it about? We discussed using everything for Krishna, yeah. Okay, God, yeah. One more point I mentioned. It's not about giving up. It is about adding Krishna to our life. Yeah, that's the most important. So he's adding, for example, when a mother has a child, is her life going to be easy? Lot more tough, because he has to take care of, especially when the child is very young. They have to they have to feed them, clean them, take them go around. It's not easy at all. It's almost like adding double the schedule to themselves, right? But still, parents will have children. Why? It's called burden of joy. It's a burden. It appears like burden, but it is joy. So adding Krishna appears like, oh, I have to do chanting, I have to go to class. Sometimes it feels like I'm taking so much time out for this, but it's a burden of joy. It's actually much more than that, right? It gives purpose to our life, right? So Gita teaches how to lead a very dynamic life, very conscious life, right? And it should be taught at a very young age. You see the children here, they are only like 5-year-old. Kaumaram Acharet Prajno. This is a sloka spoken by Prahlad Maharaj. He was speaking to his other friends of his age, 5-year-old, right? That this knowledge has to be learned at a very young age. Because at a young age, it's like we are moldable, right? When Prabhupada came to the West, he saw many old Americans, like in their 70s, 60s. Most of them they are all habituated to something, whatever they do, like go to clubs or they play golf all day long, you know. You would observe, these guys, they are not, even if Prabhupada tells them, they will never come to class. But the drug addicts, they're all young boys, they were all interested. They want to try life, right? They were all interested, but the old people, it's very difficult to teach a old dog new tricks. Right? That's a saying. So the more older we become, the more difficult it is to practice spiritual life or take to anything new in general and specifically spiritual life. So this knowledge has to be practiced at a very young age, ideally 6 years onwards. But you are still young, you are in your 20s, still that is good, yeah. And one may say, oh, I don't have Krishna in our life, how do I learn, the same knowledge as learned by Arjuna, right? So for us, the opportunity is there by learning from a Guru Parampara. So Guru Parampara starts with Lord himself. He is the powerhouse. From his, the knowledge is coming down, trickling down. In a line of teachers, without any broken chain, right? It's a continuous chain. So the message is transmitted as it is, without any change. So in the current age, Srila Prabhupada is the Acharya. He got the same message in this parampara. If we approach this knowledge as Arjuna did, Arjuna had a specific mood when he received the knowledge. If we do exactly like that, then we will have the same effect that Arjuna had in his life, right? So how do we know we are hearing from the right source? Now there are so many Babas, you go out on online search, right? This Guru, Sadguru, this Guru, so many Gurus are there, right? So how do we know whether they're the right authority that we can learn spiritual knowledge coming originally from God? They have to fall in the line of teachers, Sampradaya. That is the only way to verify, right? Sampradaya means the knowledge is completely handed over without any changes. So these are the 4 bona fide Sampradayas we discussed. One is Sri Sampradaya or Ramanuja Sampradaya. In South India, it is very famous. All the major temples were following the traditions given by Ramanujacharya. So that is Ramanuja Sampradaya. Then there is Brahma Sampradaya, in which our parampara falls. Our Srila Prabhupada's parampara falls in this line. It starts with Brahma. How did Brahma get the original knowledge? That knowledge was revealed in his heart by Supreme Lord. So in Bhagavatam, there are descriptions of the whole episode. How Brahma received directly knowledge from Lord, directly, Govinda. So in that parampara, one of the recent acharya is Madhvacharya. Okay, and then after that is Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So and then there is so many other acharyas. So in this way, our parampara is Brahma Madhva Gaudiya Sampradaya. Brahma is the first one, and then Madhva, and then Gaudiya is because Lord Chaitanya is there. Yeah, in the line. He is Supreme Lord himself again. And then one Vaishnava parampara started from Lord Shiva. It's called Rudra Sampradaya. Right? Many people think Lord Shiva is like a competing god to Vishnu. But actually, he is Acharya of one full parampara. Yeah, so it's called Rudra Sampradaya. And Lord Shiva, and then Vishnu Swami is a recent Acharya, about 2000 years ago. And then there is a line of teachers from there. And then Kumara Sampradaya. Kumaras are children of Lord Brahma. They receive knowledge from Brahma, right? And then from that Sampradaya is Nimbarka Swami. He's a recent Acharya, about thousands of years ago. And then there is a parampara underneath. So these are four bona fide sampradayas that are given in Vedas itself. So Vedas have described these acharyas are going to come. These are the proponents of the original parampara. And if one learns from these parampara, they will achieve perfection. That is given already in scripture. It's not like now you can hear from anybody else who is not following in this parampara. It's not like a bona fide process. Yeah. They may be very wise, they may speak very sweet, but it's like, it's a look-alike. It's not really spirituality. I'm not trying to, it's just given in what is given in scriptures. Yeah. It can help you. It's not like it doesn't help you at all. It can help you, but you cannot rely on that to achieve perfection. Yes, Brahma is a position, yeah. Billions of years, yeah. When the Brahma comes, yeah, he will go through the same process. Yeah, he will he will be born of navel of Lord, and then he will, try to search for the truth, and then he will hear that he has to practice tapas. And when he performs tapas, he will be revealed the knowledge. So that is the process it happened for this current Brahma, and it will be similar. Yeah. So what is the proof that we are hearing in parampara? There is a change of heart. Many of us have tried various paths. I have tried several paths, but it didn't really change me. How do you know from others? You can see all Westerners who don't know anything about Krishna consciousness. When Srila Prabhupada came, all of them became, their heart changed, their lifestyle changed. So it's a clear evidence that it is a message coming in parampara. It affects your heart. You will change your life, right? So that is the, yeah. Qualifications of a bona fide guru, right? He has realized the conclusions of scripture by deliberation. Means he is not just theoretically understanding the scripture, he has realization of the knowledge. That's the first qualification. So without that realization of knowledge, one cannot become a guru. And then he is fixed in his devotion service to the Supreme, right? So he is unwavering, he's fixed. No matter what, whether the conditions are favorable or not. And he has full control of his senses, right? And then he is an acharya. He teaches by example. He follows in his own life and teaches the same. He does not do something else and teach something else, right? So in the 4th chapter, 34th verse, the qualifications of a disciple are given. Who is a qualified disciple? There are 3 important qualities, right? Tadvidhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya upadekshant ite jnanam jnanina tattvadarshinaha. So these are, so first thing is he has to surrender to Guru. Surrender means you accept somebody as higher than you. Oh, I am very well educated. I'm an engineer. I'm a PhD. No, but you are PhD in material science. This is spiritual science. So in this, you accept a guru as somebody who is superior and who has realized knowledge. And by doing that, you will achieve the knowledge. So that is surrender should be there. Without surrender, there is no flow of knowledge from higher to lower, right? If you think you are equal to Guru, then it's like Arjuna in the first chapter, right? Arjuna was arguing various ways why he should not fight. You remember, first chapter is all about confusion of Arjuna. Am I wrong? Why am I trying to kill my own brothers? He got confused after coming to battlefield, right? So at that time, Arjuna is treating Krishna on equal footing. So in that spirit, Krishna would be just smiling until this guy completely collapses. And then when he completely surrenders, then he starts teaching. So unless we accept, okay, this person is reliable and I can give my faith and I can share my heart and I can learn from him. Unless that happens, the transmission doesn't happen properly. If you have doubts, it doesn't happen. Find whoever it is, your guru, but you have to have that surrender. And then second thing is inquisitive to know the truth. You're all here because you want to learn. You're all excited to learn what the spiritual knowledge has to offer in my life, right? If you don't have inquisitiveness, my teacher tells, when they go to, these rich people in India, who are all pious people, but they give a lot of donations, right? And if you go and tell that, hey, we are celebrating Janmashtami, they would like give, 1 lakh, 2 lakhs, they'll give like that. We should tell him to join the other class. I think he came for the class. Can you just go and see? If he's, I don't know, looks like he's coming for the class. He went straight. Yeah, sorry. Inquisitiveness should be there. So when, when sometimes we speak to these donors, they once we start about Krishna and all this, oh, we are already aware of Krishna. Our grandfather used to have a temple. We already practice. And then they tell their philosophy, their understanding. So they think, if I'm rich, I know better. That's how they think. So basically, there is no inquisitive desire to learn. You see a lot of people like this. They think they already know, I know I come from India, I know all these philosophies. So, but they don't know actually. It's a khichdi understanding. It's all mixed up understanding. And they're not open to learning. So it doesn't help. One has to be inquisitive to know more. Yeah? And then third is humble inquiry. Humble inquiry means sometimes in college days, we ask teacher a question just to prove that we know something better. There is that mindset of people, I used to have a friend, in my college like that. Always try to trump this teacher. And that in IIT. He would get all bad grades, no matter what. Because, the teacher would be very unhappy with him. So humble inquiry means with service attitude, ready to serve. Only when we serve, our heart becomes recipient for realizing the knowledge. You're receiving all this knowledge, but when you start serving, now you will understand actually, oh, that makes sense now. Even now for us, even for me, so I have read a particular, spiritual line many times, but suddenly there is a new and better understanding. When that happens when you serve, continuously. So we should have service attitude. Always ready to serve others as well as, Krishna. So humble inquiry is important. It's not to challenge. Yeah, so in Bhagavad Gita 2.7, this famous verse is there where Arjuna surrenders to Krishna. Karpanya dosha. What does a bona fide Acharya contribute to this world? A great Acharya like Srila Prabhupada. What did he give? He gave spiritual wisdom to the world. Right? He wrote about 90 books, all in all. About 90 books. Uh, Hare Krishna, did you come for discover yourself or game? Uh, I'm not able to hear. The other class is the, yeah, yeah. Your friend would be there, yeah. This is like little older class. Sorry, I just wanted to clarify. Yeah, it's in next, right next. Because he will stay all the time, and he might not feel comfortable with what we are teaching. Yeah. So when an acharya starts a temple, it is not meant for just a ritualistic worship. A temple is a place of learning spiritual wisdom. That is the right purpose of a temple. It's like a university for spiritual knowledge, right? So Srila Prabhupada started temple. So when you visit a temple, these are the few things you get. One is you get Bhagavad Darshan. Second, you receive Bhagavad Nam. You hear, Lord's holy name, or you chant the holy name. Somebody will give you beads. You will chant the holy name, and then you will knowledge about Lord, right? You will have access to books, right? And then you will have Bhagavad Sangha. Sangha means association of devotees, right? So these are all things that you get in a temple. If you're not getting any one of them, that's not a proper temple. If you go to ISKCON, you will find all this, right? You will have nice, beautiful darshan. And then on the side, you will find books you can buy if you want to, and you can learn more about God. And then you will find beads. You can take them and you can chant the holy name, Bhagavad Nam. And then somebody will come and tell about the temple, or you can ask a question and understand more, right? You will have association of devotees. And then finally, you go downstairs, you will have prasadam, right? So that's the most important. So all five things will be available in a temple. You see, our ISKCON temple fulfills all the five, isn't it? So very few temples are like that. So you go and you will just find a pujari and a ritual. That's all. Most temples. There is no association. There is no chanting of the holy names. Yeah. So and this education helps us train to perfect our lives. A real temple is like a hospital. Hmm? It helps the diagnosis. What is the diagnosis for us? We have a material body. That is our disease. Correct? It's like a disease. You have a body means you have a problem. 100% sure. Yeah. And then the cause of the disease. What is the cause? Why are we here at all? The original desire. Yeah. We are originally there with Krishna, right? How did we land up here? Huh? Yeah. Envious means, yeah, why only Krishna? Why not me? Why not me be the center of the universe? As soon as you have such feelings, you are not qualified to be there. Yeah. Hmm. Oh, so that is actually demigods. Demigods means there are 33 crore demigods who are representatives of various material affairs like ministers, cabinet ministries. Yeah, so there is a sloka in Bhagavatam, I'll pull up sometime, that says demigods are actually praying to God. So there is only one supreme God, Vishnu, Krishna, Narsimha, whatever, Ramana. So that is one Lord. They're all worshipping Lord to take birth in Kali Yuga. You know why? What is special about Kali Yuga? The time we are living right now. Yeah, it is the easiest process. In any other age, you have a very long practice, and the practices require a lot of ingredients, or requires some abilities. It's not so. It's the easiest. It's like a last bench student, process. It's the easiest process, right? So bhakti yoga is the easiest to practice, and anybody in any condition, whether rich or poor, or black or white, anybody can chant. It's not that difficult. Yeah. And the line of treatment is begins with surrender. Right? Sarvadharman parichajya. So this is the coming in the last chapter of Bhagavad Gita. Krishna says, right? Sarvadharman parichajya mamekam sharanam vraja aham tvam sarva papebhyo mokshayisami masuchaha. Krishna says. So he teaches everything, and then Arjuna, just to reaffirm what he has to do, he said, Sarva Dharman Parichyaja, give up all your religions. Mam Ekam Sharanam Vraja. Mam Ekam means to me alone, surrender. Aham Tvam Sarva Papebhyo. Moksha Yisami Masucha. I will take away all your sinful reactions from all your lifetimes. Right? So that, and do not worry about anything. Oh, I'm a Christian. Should I practice Krishna consciousness? No. Krishna says, just surrender unto me. I am going to personally take care of you. Yeah. Surrender to God. So that is the line of treatment. Medicine, we all know medicine, right? So I cannot emphasize you must have a beads in your hand, right? When you come to the class. How many of you don't have? I know. Yeah, please carry. That is your medicine. That is your pathway to God. Okay? So always chant on the beats. So real temple teaches importance of association of devotees. And we should be aware of the dangers of materialistic association, right? Because we live in the world outside. What is association? Association means mind share, opening up your heart to people outside, right? If they are not spiritual in nature, right? Generally, they are materially minded. So one has to be very careful before revealing their heart. So here you see, this is Kaikeyi and Mandara, right? Mandara was loving Lord Ram as much as her own son Bharat. Sorry, Kaushalya. Kaikeyi, sorry, yeah. Kaikeyi would love Lord Ram as much as her own son Bharat. But by hearing the words of Mandara, her heart changed. So this is the association. You go to your hometown and meet your uncle or cousin or somebody who is very materialistic, for example. Hey, why are you doing all this? Let's go for this movie. Forget for some time. You should enjoy life. This is your time. They'll say like that. Then what do you say? Okay, for today, let's go. Don't do that, right? So be careful. It's important. Yeah, at the same time, it's not like you don't completely ignore people, right? It should not be either extremes. But understand you have taken a very serious spiritual path, and it's better to not damage that. It's not that if you damage, you can't come back, but try to avoid materialistic association as far as possible.
If somebody is practicing spirituality, and then if they associate with people who are not, who gets implanted in their part as well, the seed of something material, as you gave an example of API Mantra. Like she was very pious, she was loving and equally. Then how come like just by speaking to Mantra, her part?
Yeah, that's a good point. So until we are fully 100% surrendered to God, there is always a chance. We are not 100% pure. We had many, many lifetimes of impressions coming from our past lives, right? We had so many materialistic desires, lust, greed, anger, you know. So those things are always lingering in our heart at the back, and those can come back anytime. So we have to protect, right? So especially when we are beginning, we are like a small sapling. So we have to nurture it carefully. Otherwise, a mad elephant comes. What happens? It will trample the whole thing. So we have to be careful. Until we have some like few years of practice, then you are strong enough. You are not going to be wavered. Otherwise, I remember, myself and another boy used to go to these DYS classes in IIT. We attended like 5, 6 classes, and then my only 2 students at the time. Right? Now there are like 60 students there, it seems, every year. But I had only one friend, and he only inspired me in the beginning, and we used to go together. And after a few weeks, he stopped. Then I was continuing. I was alone, and the teacher is teaching to me. He used to come driving for 2 hours just for 2 of our students. He used to come on a Lona. And then I became the only student for 2 weeks, and then I went there, and that boy was a little bit depressed. I asked what happened. He showed me, he talked to somebody else, and that person told, hey, there is a bigger Bhagavad Gita. You see, this much big. And he showed, Prabhupada wrote only this much. There is a bigger guru, he wrote this much. Now I'm trying to read, and it's very different than what I learned from this book. So that is a confusion. So he was confused just by looking at a bigger book, and knowledge is presented in a different way. And he didn't ask or check back with the teacher, and he just was in a dilemma. Then next week, because I also don't know much, okay, let's go take the book, and we went to the teacher, and teacher showed where things are wrong, the explanations. You look at the word to word translation, then he got convinced, okay, I'm doing something wrong. You see, we get confused anytime because we don't have food very strong yet. So that's why in the beginning, even many devotees have slightly different understanding. We should not just mix with anybody, okay? And they may have different ideas. So we should be careful, at least in the very, very beginning, right? What to focus? Should I focus more on service? Somebody may say, hey, you should only serve. You don't need to attend classes. What do you think? Will do. Maybe I should do service. I already heard 6 months classes. Let me practice. So those confusions come. That is why I'm recommending each of you should have one of, especially for girls, you have two matas here. You should connect regularly, so you are in regular touch. For boys, we have Chandu Prabhu, myself, and Achyuta Prabhu, right? And Kaustu Prabhu. So please be in touch. If you have any questions, unlike my friend, right? He just stopped for 2, 3 weeks, and then I had to go. I'm like him only, but I had to go pull him, and finally, he was convinced. After that, he started coming. So a lot of us are not very clear in the beginning. Should be careful. Association, right? Guru teaches how one can be Krishna conscious in family life. Yeah. So we'll go. One should not become a guru or a father or a mentor if he is not taking the responsibility of the spirituality of the dependent. Right? One should not become a guru or a father or a mentor. A guru teaches to strictly follow 4 regulated principles. No intoxication, no gambling, no meat eating, and no illicit relations. So these are the 4 regulated principles the guru should teach. Lot of gurus in today's time, they don't teach. That is why they will have a lot of followers, because most of them don't follow anything. Yeah, guru teaches moral and spiritual honesty. What is morality? Morality is the standard of activity by which the Supreme Lord is happy and satisfied. So the baseline is whether Krishna is happy by our actions. It's not about mundane morality. So there is the story of Kaushik Muni. One time he was just taking bath outside. A cow comes running to take shelter of his home. And he looks back. The cow goes inside the ashram. And there is a hunter coming behind. Hunter is about to shoot the cow. And he asked the Kaushik Muni, what happened? Where did you find a cow? It came here and it's my food. And what did Kaushik Muni say? There is no cow here. Is it lying? A Brahmana should not lie, right? But the higher morality principle is what satisfies Krishna. So tomorrow you are, you go home. Your college friend calls you, hey, let's go for disco today. What do you do? Okay, Raghavi, what do you say? Headache? He will give you a medicine, tablet. Headache is maybe you can tell, I have dysentery, then he will not bother you. Dysentery, right? So something like that. So they're very tricky, I can give you medicine, let's go together, so you have to be very careful. Charity, right? Charity, we discussed this already. I'll say mode of goodness. Charity in the mode of goodness is giving the right thing to the right person in the right place at right time with right motive, right? So giving prasadam or giving a spiritual knowledge, these are all in the mode of goodness or even transcendental actually. It's a transcendental charity. Yeah. What is the difference? Mode of goodness will have reaction. You may give giving in mode of goodness means you still have good motive, you give to the right person who needs it, right thing you gave, but there is no understanding of God. There is no God's play in the role in that whole thing. So you think you are the giver. Then what will God do? He'll give you a good karma balance that you will get double of that in the next life. Is that good? It's not good, or is it good? You gave something in charity to a poor child. For example, you gave some books. What happens to you? Now you will get good karma, and now you have to get something in return in the next life. So one thing is guaranteed. What is it? Next life. So which you don't want. But if you think, Krishna, this is, in my hand today and I can't use this, I'm on your behalf, I'm giving to some other person. If you same conscious, everything is same. The only difference is consciousness. You never felt it is yours. You just gave it on behalf of Krishna. Then that is spiritual charity. When you do like that, then there is no reaction. In fact, if there is a pious reaction for that from the past, that will also get erased because of your consciousness. It's just matter of right consciousness. Prasadam we can give anytime. Yeah. Yeah, that is fine. Yeah. Need not be prasadam. But it should not be something that they can misuse. For example, if you give money to some person, he can buy a cigarette. You know what happens? You give money and that person buys cigarette, you will get some reaction for that. Because you enable the guy to misuse his freedom. Correct? Yeah. So give something that they can use, like clothes or some utilities that they can use, right? Giving Krishna is the highest charity that pleases Krishna the most, right? So in Bhagavad Gita 18th chapter, it is mentioned Krishna says, I'm I'm extremely happy with one person who shares this knowledge with others. Yeah. So one day you all should share this knowledge. That's the lesson, right? You all should share. Yeah. So now we'll see how to make your occupation, dovetailed in devotion service. So this is what you will experience when when you attend the retreat in May. So here are some principles. How to transform your home into a temple, right? You go to any devotee's home, it's almost like a temple. There is an altar, there is regular worship, daily worship, right? There is change of dress, there is offering, bhoga offering, there is kirtan, right? Regular kirtan. All of those, aratis will be there. So it's almost like a temple. So home is like the consciousness of the grihastha is the home belongs to God. And you are what you are. What is your play then? Huh? Yeah, you are like a servant there. It's not like you are the owner of the home. That owner consciousness should not be there. Even in your rooms, when you go back, you have altar, like a picture or something. No, daily worship. Make Lord as the owner of the home, right? And you are just a servant to the Lord. That's why you have a place in that home, right? Yeah. So, lot of rich people, if you go to their home, one day, my mentor Radhisham Prabhu, he says, he goes to a home, it's a big bungalow, everything is there, everything is modern architecture, but he was just searching where is the temple in the home. It's there somewhere, behind the stairs, somewhere, some little bit he kept. So that is the consciousness of people, of the modern times. They have something, but it's completely in a very unknown place in the home. If you have a place for the Lord in the heart, then you have a place in your home. So you should give the best possible place for the Lord in the home. Right? So this is Lord Krishna in Dwaraka. He had 16,000 queens. Even Lord Krishna, when he was living in this world, he was daily performing yagnas. You see here, he is performing fire sacrifice. He is doing all of this to set a great example. Right? He was meditating sometimes. He was practicing sword fighting. He was talking to his wives, for example. Yeah. So this is Narada when he visits Dwaraka. He sees all these various activities in various homes. Now let's see the practicals, right? How do we worship the Lord in the home? You can have a simple altar, a place like a study place like this, and establish an altar, right? So there is a picture of it here. See something like this. where Lord is kept in a place a little higher than other, Guru Parampara. So you see here, this is Radha Krishna deities, and then this is Gaur Nitai deities, right? Who are the acharyas for the current practices that we do. Sankirtana is started by Lord Chaitanya. And then Narsingadev, then Panchatattva, right? There is Lord Chaitanya, Srivas Thakur, Nityananda Prabhu, Advaita Acharya, and Gadadhar Pandit. Yeah, so all the acharyas are here. Right? And then, so this is during Lord Chaitanya's time, right? These five great Panchatattva, five great personalities were there. They're all incarnations of God. One is incarnation of Mahavishnu, one is incarnation of Balaram, one is incarnation of Krishna, one is incarnation of Narada Muni, Srivas Thakur, one is incarnation of Radharani. So they all came together. But after that, the Shad Goswamis came, who gave all the spiritual wisdom to us. Whatever we are reading here today, it's all collected from various scriptures by the Shad Goswamis, who dedicated their life completely to keep all the knowledge together, put all the knowledge together. They have given so many wonderful books. And then many acharyas, under that, right? And then finally, Srila Prabhupada is the recent acharya. So we put an altar like this. And when we worship, we go through the Guru. We don't directly, offer to God, because it's just like if you want to reach to Prime Minister, will you go through his servant or will you go directly to Prime Minister? Will you even have access to Prime Minister directly? Will you? No. If you want to access Prime Minister, you have to go through his PA, personal assistant. So like that, the acharyas are like PAs. Yeah, they're like personal assistants. They have direct access. Yeah. So when you have a home altar setup and you practice, things like aratis, and the whole family comes together to do kirtans, or read for some time every day from scripture, then the family that prays together stays together. That's a Western statement. But you will be spiritual, vibrant. The home atmosphere will be very vibrant. And the impact on children will be very positive, right? They will be spiritually nourished. Yeah, so it will give lasting impression on the kids when you all get settled in marriages, right? You should practice such that your children become Krishna conscious from a young age. So without all this, people live for themselves, right? Without spiritual backbone at home, there is no real purpose. If I'm not satisfied by my spouse, I will go out from the home, or I'll send the person out. So that is what happens in the Western world. Nowadays, it's not 80%, but at least 60% marriages end in divorce. You can search online, just search how many Americans go through divorce. You'll hear 50% almost. It's like if you get married, there is a 50% chance you will lose your wife or husband. So that's the odds are very unfavorable in the Western world. But in India, how much, even today, the divorce rate is very low. It's less than 2%, even today. Can you imagine? Because it's very, family-oriented environment. Even though with all the distance, but I think it will change very soon, because the God is not anymore the center, right? Yeah. So I think that's it. So this is, you see the family, they're offering boga every day and doing aratis like this. It is like seeing the Lord as the king in your home. Even in temple, the mood is, what is the mood of worshipping in temple? We establish temple such that the Lord is seen as the king, right? So that's why they're in the temple, in our ISKCON temples. You know how many times they offer aratis? Guess a number. Huh? 15 minutes? Oh, that's too much. We need 24/7 for that. Lord is seen as a person. So he also needs rest. We cannot go and offer every 15 minutes. 6 times. We wake up at 5 o'clock and Mangalarti at 5:30, right? 5 o'clock, he gets a nice sweet. We offer nice sweet, freshly made sweet in the morning. And then Mangalarti at 5:30. And then we give him bath. I always go on Saturdays when you all, are attending the Mangalarti. So Lord gets a bath, whole body bath with hot water. And we wear a fresh dress and fresh jewelry. Every day we change, right? And then what's next? By 8 o'clock, he's fully packed up, ready, to give darshan to everybody, right? And then we do arti, morning arti, darshanarti, huh? Shingara, yeah, darshanarti or shingararti. And then he will be served breakfast, 9 o'clock, first meal. And then after, then he's again, darshan is open till 12 o'clock. 12 o'clock again, there is arati, 12 to 12:30, and then again he'll get lunch. And each time 6 items, In Vrindavan, they make like, every time 64 items, 56 items. Yeah. And then afternoon, Aarti is done and lunch is done. And I think he will rest for 2 hours. Between 1 and 3. And 3 o'clock he will wake up and there is Aarti. And then again, 6 o'clock, again snack and Aarti. And then 8 o'clock, Aarti, and then rest. Again, at the end, there are fruits given to him. So he is seen like a king. And all his job is to darshan, he has to give darshan and blessings to all of us. So if the temple worship goes well, the community grows well, and there is going to be peace and, prosperity in that area around. So that's why it is done. So he's seen like a king. Yeah. So this is the attitude of a devotee, right? You see, this boy, he's seeing this is Vittala of Pandharpur, right? Pandharpur, yeah. So I heard this particular thing, it's not real deity of the Lord, but it is on the way to the temple. It's in the open place. This boy saw that there is rain and the Lord is getting wet. So he immediately went and opened his umbrella. This is the mood, meaning when we are not serving Lord lunch at the right time, you should feel, oh, Lord is hungry, I should go and serve. So that is the mood. We should treat Lord as a living king. He is living, actually. Deity is non-different from Lord himself. Deity is not a representative of Lord. He is not representative. Sometimes we think representation means it's a copy. It's not a copy, it's Lord himself. You see, we learn about this concept when Radhesham Prabhu comes. He is going to teach about this. But the idea is, he is Lord himself. He reciprocates in that very form. You just need to raise your consciousness. Then you can talk to him. You can, joke with him. Lord is very personal. There are so many stories like that, right? Sakshi Gopal drama that we are going to see. You will see how Lord is very personal, right? The boys are doing that. Yeah. Sadhana is activities that re-spiritualize our lives, right? So that's why we need to perform, just like we eat food every day to maintain our physical body, correct? So similarly, we have to chant every day to maintain the spiritual health. If you don't chant for a week, you don't feel like interested in coming to class. You know, it, because mind spoils our consciousness. Mind has the tendency to go down, just like the world outside has the tendency to put dirt on the body, and you have to take a bath every single day. Why? You have to clean, because outside world is always contaminating. Similarly, your inside world is also always contaminating. Your mind takes all the negative energies from the world. And how do you clean it? Chanting the holy name, worshipping the Lord, taking darshan of the Lord. If you have a opportunity to have darshan of the Lord every day, you should do it. Even at least at your temple, you should definitely do some, arati or something, so that you have that, maintain that connection with Lord every day. So we should chant the holy name every day. And how? We should concentrate and regulate. Regulate means you should chant fixed rounds every day. Whether it is 2 rounds or 4 rounds or 6 rounds, do it every day. The best time is Brahma Muhurt. For us, it's about 5 o'clock, 5:30, 6, up to like 7 o'clock is good time to chant. And then we should read scriptures, right? Many of you are reading in the evening, right? You should continue that. Every day, if you read, your intelligence strengthens. Your intelligence becomes very clear. And hearing from advanced devotees, spiritual leaders, right? 4 do's. Just like there are 4 don'ts, the 4 do's are A, association, B, books, read books, C for chanting the holy name, and D for diet Krishna Prasad. This is association. You see, beautiful temple, huh? Very refreshing to see the picture here. The person is reading the books. So it will increase sattva guna in your mind. Yeah. Chanting, this is the mode, right? God is great, we are tiny, but with God's help, we can surpass the most difficult situations of this world. This is a quote from somebody. We should avoid, eat sattvic food. Yeah, so this is Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He came 500 years ago, 550 now. So he is Yuga Avatar. Yuga Avatar means incarnation for the age. Every age has an incarnation that comes. And what is the purpose of the incarnation? To give the method of emancipation or liberation for the age. So when Lord Chaitanya came 500 years ago, what did he teach? Sankirtan Yajna. It is given in like dozen scriptures that Lord Chaitanya's method is given. Sankirtan is the method for this age. There is no other method that is as effective. So when he came, he even transformed the hearts of Jagai and Madai, who are very wicked people, right? They became saints after that. Just like Prabhupada transformed all the, Western lost youth. Very well. And when Lord Chaitanya was going around the whole country, teaching Sankirtan, at one time he was going through a forest called Jharkhand, in which he meets so many animals. And all the animals, just by looking at Lord Chaitanya's chanting, they all danced in ecstasy. And even sometimes tiger, eternal enemies like tiger and deers, they are coming together and chanting together. So you see the picture here, and they're all full of tears. Yeah, and then Srila Prabhupada, we all know. So he is the founder Acharya of ISKCON. His guru is Bhakti Siddhanta Thakur. The first time Prabhupada met him, his guru told him, "You are a young man, you know English, you should go outside the country and preach in English." That's what the instruction he was given. And by the end of his life, again he gives the same instruction. So he was very sure that is his life's mission, and he fulfilled. Right? So to fulfill the mission, he started a magazine called Back to Godhead when he was around 45, 50. Was his family, his books were given to, president that time. He took sannyas and he went on this Jaladuta flight from India to America for a 2-month voyage in which he had 2 heart attacks, almost about to die. But then he wanted to fulfill the mission of his guru. Right? So yeah, so he started this movement with nothing. He had 40 unchangeable rupees. Hmm. Yeah, we'll start. So that's it. So what we are seeing is under, whatever is happening under ISKCON, right? This is his mission, He came with nothing and he started 108 temples in West. Okay, so now we are going to discuss a very important topic. So we are having this retreat on May 10th, 11th, right? Or 10th and 11th, yeah. And we are going to have a lot of fun activities as well. We have dramas, one drama by girls, one drama by boys. And this will be very transformative. And Radhesham Prabhu, who is the GDO officer, Global Duty Officer for Outreach in the youth. So he teaches, he preaches to youth all over the world. In India, he had many centers, many where he started. And in each center, not every center, but important centers, he goes and he does this retreat. It has a tremendous transformative effect. Solidifies your, footing in Krishna consciousness. A lot of knowledge you gain and you learn in a very fun environment, right? So this year we want to do for the first time in Seattle youth retreat with all of you. And he is coming exclusively for you. And he's not bothering about temple activities or, he is just coming for you alone. Okay, understand that. He is on a mission to help for all of us. So we will do a retreat at our place, my home. Some of you have visited my home, right? It has large backyard with green patch. We'll do outdoor activities and indoor activities. We'll have kirtans, dramas, and wonderful, chanting lessons and chanting. I'll show you. Let me show. Okay. You see my screen? Oh, okay, because PPT is. Is it changed?
Not sharing and sharing.
Okay. How did it become so sticky? No? Okay. So this is the schedule. It appears a little tight because it starts at early morning, 5 o'clock. Just for 2 days, if you think, you can do it, you can do it. It's not that difficult. So this is the program on May 10th, Saturday. Okay. Starts the whole program is from 5 a.m. to 5 p.m. in the evening, right? You will have enough breaks. It's not like you're going to, there are a lot of breaks. So first, Mangalarti program in the morning. It might change a little bit here and there, but 5 a.m. is the program. And we are going to arrange accommodations if you want to stay near to us, where you have very good facilities, or if you want to commute, that is also fine. We will take registrations of all of you. So based on your need, we want to know and plan accordingly. Okay. Yeah. So Mangalarti, and then there will be a session for 45 minutes. And in the backyard, we will have chanting. And there is a nice, wonderful breakfast, 8 to 9. And there is a break. And then again at 9:30 to 11, there is a session. And then 30 minutes break, and then again another session. And then there is some games, dumb charads. Yeah, it's easy, you can all play. And then lunch, 1 to 2. You will not forget that lunch. You will remember that. Yeah. And then break, 1 hour break. And another session, Password for Happiness Part 3, how to build loving relationships. And then there is a juice break. And then a drama, What is Real Happiness, by girls. And then there is a session, right? And then you can retire, I mean, this one onwards, if you want to retire, you can retire, that's fine. And you can go to accommodations, and there is a Narasimha Chaturdashi that day. If you want to go visit temple, you can. That option, I think you should definitely visit, because you are going to be close to temple, 5 minutes away. Next day again, similar activity. This session will really change your chanting. And then chanting. And then game session, understanding God's nature. And then break, and then another session. This is the one I am talking, science behind deity worship, right? Learn in full depth. I think this will change. The game will change. Yeah. And lunch, and then another session, and then another drama. Sakshi Gopal drama. Some of us are acting in that. Yeah. Okay. Huh? Ready to? Don't show it here. We lose the.
Prabhu played all the roles today.
Okay. He's a master drama. Yeah, we are lucky to have him. Okay. How many are excited to be part of this program on May 10th and 11th? Raise your hands. Okay, nobody is leaving. Oh, okay. Finally raised. Okay, awesome. I'm very happy to, is going to be just for me, always just being with Radhesham Prabhu, just like few hours, he's like a powerful person. Just by being around him for a day transforms you. Just like being in touch with a touchstone. That's what makes me like, just transform. You will see yourself, because he led such a pure life. Just by his presence, you feel transformation, right? Yeah. So let's see. So there is a form I'm going to share in our group. I would like you to all inform us.
Yeah, well in advance.
Well, not right now.
Yeah, that's what.
Yeah, just take a minute and register yourself, so don't lose track of it. And based on your need, we have girls only accommodation in one place, and boys only accommodation in 2-3 places. And based on your need, we might need more accommodations or less. So we'll have to arrange all of that. So to help us serve you better, we need your registration. Okay? Yeah, so I just sent the registration form. Yeah. If any of your friends who are not here today, if they would like to join, I would request you to, inform them so that they can, they can also join this, right? Archit,
There are some students who could not make it to today's class. We'll reach out to them first.
yeah, very good.
And if you know the students who didn't attend today's class, we can talk to them as well and encourage them. I will do that anyway, but if you want to talk to them before I get to them, that's fine. As Prabhuji said, Radhesham Prabhu sessions are very engaging and very interacting. Just be the association, you will feel very transformative. And Radhesham Prabhu session, I have attended since many years. He is my biggest inspiration to take Krishna consciousness very seriously. And I think, I'm sure you'll go through the same experience yourself.
Yes. Kalyani Mataji had direct experience of retreats in India. You want to share anything, Mataji? Yeah. You have the mic. Yeah.
I was a girls group of this college student. So I attended two of the retreats there. So it's kind of like a trip also. So there were a lot of engaging activities. You will not get, means we have always been practicing. So from my personal experience, I would say that I have been practicing once in a while, like I was chanting and everything, but whole day of devotee association and all spiritual activities which are actually engaging, you will not feel bored. And since you will make good strides also, you will get more time with each other also. We used to keep coming classes and go around and then get on our own, but then these 2 days, you will feel a difference after that. Like also, and your spiritual life. So also, Radhesham, about Radhesham Prabhuji, I was a part of Pune and he was temple president there. But I was there for 2 years, but trust me, I never got his association, never heard his lecture because he was very busy and his association is very, very rare. So
There will be 1,000 people before you. Generally. Yeah.
On top of if you attend these kind of sessions in India, it's very hard to actually to get close to Prabhu and talk to him. But here we are all blessed because it's a small group. You get to talk to him. You can see him very, very closely. You can interact with him also, right?
Yeah, you're free to interact. Yeah. These retreats, they, sometimes outsiders, they charge, hundreds of dollars. So for us, it's most fun activity. We don't, we just want you to come.